bell peppers. Here. This one. Green onion. But I had picked some recently. It's coming close to evening time right now, but I'm just showing some progress. You never really know what's going to happen with plants. You just have to experiment and see how it goes sometimes. You can do research, as much research as possible, but that doesn't guarantee things will always go according to plan, even if you follow everyone's steps. So this is a pineapple here. I had originally just planted this, like this part, and now a new shoot. This is the new shoot coming up. So they kind of grow on the inside, the leaves, the shoots. Aloe vera. Interestingly, you can see after just planting this one, some new little shoots are coming up, so it's multiplying, it's growing. You can see the tiny ones coming up, but that's coming from the original big plant here. Yeah. So this is some coriander, and obviously the coriander has multiplied and grown. It's grown quite a bit actually. In the beginning stages, it was kind of not really growing, or just taking a really long time compared to all the other herbs. And of course, pumpkin grows extremely fast and it takes up a lot of space. Let's see what's here. Oh, this is avocado. I'm gonna be cooking my beans because there's so many that have grown and so many I've collected. So these are some smaller ones, but I picked the big ones. I like to cook with herbs a lot for seasoning food. This is some bell pepper. Bell pepper growing. There it is in focus from the camera. You know, the little ones coming up, you can see multiplying. I like when things multiply, get bigger. This is some thyme. Rosemary. Mint. Mint is like a vine, but it's been multiplying nicely. Sage. I love sage for like tea and for burning and all that. This has been growing very easily, growing very fast. There's some more mints coming up here, which is nice. Flowers, corn. You can see. I wish I had coconut too, but I don't have coconut. But that's okay. And another one here. This is a squash. Squash. That looks like a little corn there. And then, oh, There's cucumber. I'm gonna have to pick it before it turns too yellow. I'm going to have to pick it before it turns a bit too yellow. But you can see here, it's growing on the wall. And avocado is growing nicely. It looks really cool. I can't wait for it to get bigger. This has to come out though. Just a bit spiky, so I have to just kind of dig into it because there are spikes. There are spikes, so it kind of is a bit prickly. But this is the flower. You see the little flowers here? This is the flower. And I saw the bees coming around and going towards the flowers of this vine. It's a long vine, as you can see, and it's growing up on the wall here. But yeah, this is really cool. Actually growing things. I will be eating this in a salad or just at the side of one of my dishes, one of my meals. Pepper has been picked. I'm going to add it to some saltfish bulgjal, Trinidad style saltfish bulgjal. It looks great. It smells amazing too. It smells really strong. Stronger than the bell peppers I buy in the supermarket. The size isn't crazy big. I rinsed it if you're wondering what's on it. It's just some water. Yeah, the size isn't that big, but it smells strong, so I think it's gonna taste strong because it's so concentrated. This is some green onion I picked today. Can add these to saltfish bulgjal, eggs, fish, all kind of stuff. But this is rosemary. Rosemary on the fish. Yep. Rosemary, honey, black pepper, lime juice. The progress with the pineapple piña. This is the new shoot coming up. I have lots of little aloe veras growing from this old aloe vera. This is a sorrel plant, or a hibiscus kind of roselle. Roselle, sorrel, we call it sorrel in Trinidad. It is family to the hibiscus flower, so we call it roselle. And I like to use the flowers for making sorrel tea or iced sorrel, especially iced sorrel for hot climates, but in cold climates, sorrel tea. And I have that recipe on my channel. I have my sorrel recipe, Trinidadian style, on my channel. Sorrel. You can see the bud. We're making the best Jamaica. Orange peel. Cinnamon sticks, pimento, lots of cloves, as you can see, lots of cloves, ginger in Hebre, sugar, azúcar. Okay, so it's done. Obviously, judging by the color, it is a very potent, strong batch, but that's how I like it. Good for your immune system. So what I do, if it's really strong, what I usually do is I add it to some water because it's very, very strong. Very, very strong. But you'll see the color difference. See? Now it is more light in the color. There we go. So the chocolate muffins are nearly ready. Let's see what they look like. Oh, not bad. I made these from scratch as well. This is for fertilizer. I have the store-bought fertilizer here. And there's also this method you can use old tea bags, especially black tea. I added some rainwater, so it's raining earlier, to this bucket. And you can add your tea bags to the rainwater. Just gonna give it a mix, and then I'll add a little bit of the store-bought fertilizer. Not too much because I already added the tea bags. And I do see benefits of using tea as fertilizer. Black tea in particular. Give it a good mix. You don't have to use any fancy equipment. I mean, if you want to, you can. I'm just doing this. And I find that with rainwater, it's less harsh than tap water or water from a pipe. Rainwater, I find plants kind of take it on better than regular water, because regular water has like fluoride and stuff in it that kind of is a bit harsh for the plants. So if you use rainwater or collect rainwater, and you can set up a thing to collect it like I have, just you don't need anything in particular. You can use whatever you have to collect rainwater. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it unless you want to, and then you can use that to water your plants. This is the rainwater collected. Because it was raining earlier, and you can see that things are still a bit wet from the rain. I have some herbs over here that I'm spraying. Spraying some pots, thyme, oregano, basil, and parsley. And this is some pumpkin. I'm just going to use some of my fertilizer and water my herbs, because we didn't get any water from the rain. Nice. I also have my pineapple growing here. It has recently grown in size. Sometimes with storms and wind and all that, just little branches fall off from my vine here, but as you can see, the aloe vera has been multiplying. And this is some celery. It's just a close-up of the herbs. And this is some pumpkin, a young avocado. I started a new one, mango, and some other stuff here. I just transferred this to a pot. Pour it over the avocado, the pumpkin, and mango. Just to make sure, these plants are quite young. They're quite young, and I want them to have some nutrients to start off. Transferred this banana plant to the pot, and I have some carrots in here, and I transferred some carrot seeds and some beets. This is from Christmas plant that I just planted in the ground, and it is poinsettia. It's called poinsettia. The red Christmas poinsettia. So I'm gonna add some fertilizer to these. got some soil to pot some more plants that have some seedlings. And that soil is great. It has lots of nutrients in it. I mean, they did get a little bit of rainwater, but not as much as I would like because they're in the corner. This poinsettia is the one I have that's actually bearing flowers. The other one, the flowers came off because it's out of season right now. It's not winter anymore. So I'm glad that this one still has flowers. And the other one is not really, I mean, it has like some buds coming up because I've been watering it and taking care of it, but the flowers haven't bloomed big and bright compared to its brother plants on the other side. So yeah, but slowly but surely it is coming along. And then you can see the vibrancy, and you know, got a little bit of rainwater earlier. So I have some taro dasheen growing in here. I will be showing you guys how I make compost someday, but I don't have time. I mean, right now it's just explaining what I have and what I'm doing in terms of nutrients and watering and peels from the skin of fruits and vegetables, skin, like removing the skin, and then adding that to my compost. And I like to also add like certain kind of insides, maybe like from the grapefruit, inside of grapefruit. But yeah, so what do I have here? This is some red onion. These are some spicy pepper sprouts. These are some bell peppers and some bell pepper sprouts I have here. I need to water the sprouts because they want to grow. So whoever, it's like a competition I think between the sprouts, like whoever decides to grow first is going to be the winner, I guess, in this case. And I don't know if you heard me, but there is a competition between the sprouts of who wants to grow first and like grow into an adult plant first. So I mean, you don't really know what's going to happen with sprouts. Some die off, some grow, and all you have to do is take care of them as best as possible. I have some green onions on this side here. Some green onions on this side here, so put them. And behind here, all the way at the back, is tomato plants. So I'm trying tomatoes right now. I'm seeing how it goes. I've grown tomatoes in the past and I found them to be one of the easiest things to grow. So we'll see if I can do it again. And then here are some more herbs like rosemary. Rosemary's coming along nicely, and mint, and sage, which I probably showed you earlier. But this is just an update. Rosemary, mint, and okay. So I have some sprouts over here on this side. I have also, this is some bok choy growing, sprouting, some bok choy. And then these are some lettuces sprouting. So I'm going to just water all these sprouts because they're coming along very nicely. This is cucumber. My old cucumber plant died off when we were putting grass. So I'm starting from scratch, and that's how it goes sometimes with gardening, and I'm fine with that. I don't mind having to start from scratch all over again. So I'm just going to water these. I'm going to water these sprouts now. First thing I'm going to water on this side is bok choy. I love bok choy. I love it in stir fry. I love it on its own with some salted black pepper. I love it with seafood, like tuna steak and all that, because I do eat seafood, so I really love bok choy. And I love lettuce in general, especially like cabbage soup and spinach and all that. So some green beans and some peas sprouts. Some of the beans are growing already. I'm so surprised. This is a new bean plant I started. And I see some beans actually coming out. I didn't think it happened yet, but I mean, it's pretty healthy and green, vibrant. Soon it'll be bearing even more beans, which I cannot wait to eat. Some olive oil. This is not just an avocado plant. This is not just an avocado plant anymore. This is Mr. Avocado. Oh, it's growing into Mr. Avocado. It's getting a lot bigger. So, it has been one of my strongest, and it has some kind of insect on it, and I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't really want them there. Just have to kind of like push them off of it. They like this avocado plant. They're kind of up and down it, up and down it, and we all know what insects can do to plants, especially if you're an organic grower who doesn't like to use a lot of pesticides to remove the insects. You know, it's kind of like a battle sometimes, but because they like to take the little nibbles off of your leaves and all that, but sometimes you have to compromise. Like, do I want plants with lots of chemicals or growing stuff with lots of chemicals? It really depends, you know, on you as an individual, what you prefer. But anyway, I'm just gonna water the rest of my things around here. This is a banana thing. Banana plant. I'm gonna water this one. Nice. So this dirt was in the shade and didn't get any of the lovely rainwater. So I'm going to add some to this because I will be adding some sprouts and some herbs to this tray, and I want to make sure the soil is nice and moist for it. It has to be nice and moist. So just make sure I didn't add too much because it's pretty deep, and I didn't want the soil to be too wet. but just the right amount of wetness for the sprouts. You know, not too wet, not too dry. I'm just mixing it in. I mean, it's pretty deep, so it's not going to get overly wet because the soil at the bottom is very dry. Nice. Just bringing it up a bit because sometimes when the soil gets dry in the heat, you know, it gets really hard and it's difficult to add anything to it. It's hard. There's some brown there, as you can see, so I need to take that out. I mean, these plants here are fine. They don't really need any fertilizer to them. However, the palms at the front definitely do. I'm going to be adding some more soil just because these plants definitely need it. Palm. This is a dead palm. No, this definitely needs a lot more soil. Because the soil up here is very dry and has a lot of rocks in it. It's basically like sand. So, this one needs a lot. So that it can get a bit bigger and grow more arms. Okay. Before it gets dark, I'm gonna go inside because I don't want to be attacked by mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes just as much as the next person hates mosquitoes. And I am done for today. I will continue watering and doing what I do for the next days to come. This is a mango seed I'm trying to get right now. I took a mango that I was eating earlier with my oats. I made coconut oat porridge with mango, so coconut mango oatmeal. And I had that for my breakfast, and then I was like, you know what, let me cut open the mango seed thing here. This is the coating, the outward coating. You need to be very careful if you're cutting mango seed, and this is the actual seed on the inside. So I'm just gonna open it up right now and be careful when I'm taking off this coating part. Okay, so here it is. This is the actual seed that you need for the mango. And I'm going to let it sprout and plant it. After some time, the mango seed will germinate. will germinate once you are keeping it in a wet environment, keeping it wet and moist. Carrot sprouts and beets. So the taro is coming up nicely. This is the taro here. These are the carrots. That's the beets. This is the rosemary. This is the rosemary bush. Slowly but surely, the sprouts have been coming up. This is some more bok choy. And the bok choy has been getting bigger. I've been adding some fertilizer some days and putting them on the plants. Fertilizer, black tea sometimes, and then sometimes I do the store-bought commercial fertilizer. It doesn't have to be black tea though. I use whatever tea I have, whether it's chai, whether it is lemon and ginger, because tea in general just has certain nutrients in it, and it is good for the acid in the soil. You can do more research on tea as a fertilizer. Store-bought fertilizer is just as good in my opinion. Both of them are really good. So yeah, I'm really happy with the bok choy. It's been growing and getting a lot bigger. These are just some eggshells. Eggshells are good if you're making compost. I know like this isn't really compost, but in general it's good to add eggshells to your compost so that you can have a nice fertilizer for your soil, a nice compost for your soil, so that your plants get big and healthy. The avocado just keeps multiplying and growing bigger and bigger. The light green is the new growth. You know, when we talk about new growth of hair or new growth of nails, this is like the new growth, the lighter green portion of the avocado, and the darker green is the older part. At the beginning, it was very, very short down to here, and then it's grown taller and taller, branching out, as you can see, with multiple branches. All grown from a seed. I did not buy any seed kit for this. I didn't buy a seed kit. I just used the avocado seed that I had. Sometimes when I'm planting, I don't like to use the commercial seeds, because commercial seeds, like, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, like the commercial mainstream seeds that you buy. I find that I like to grow from like cuttings or seeds from fruits and vegetables instead of just buying the dry seeds in a packet. Sometimes just like using the fresh seeds from the actual fruit or vegetable itself. Yep. There's 3 layers, but lots of pasta. Now, time to cut it. Your price is way too high. You need to cut it. Your price is way... Well, in this case, I am not cutting my price. Take it or leave it. Now, let's see how it looks. Let's see how it looks on the inside. Ooh, you can see the tofu layer and all that. Very nice. A mushroom in there. There, you can see the spinach. You can see the spinach and tofu and whatnot. Wow, that's very rich and nice. So I've roasted the bell peppers. And then I have the cooked chickpeas here. I have the cooked chickpeas. And I'm going to add some fresh mints from my garden, some red onion, and maybe some coriander, capers. I have capers and what else? I have honey to add to it. I have some honey to add to it, and also some apple cider vinegar and black pepper and olive oil. Black pepper and olive oil as well. So my chickpea salad is done. See it here? I'm going to cook some of these green beans that I got these green beans from my garden. For the past weekend, I was just collecting whichever beans grew bigger, like grew long, because you know they start out around this size when they're growing and they eventually get bigger, so the size is good. The size of these ones are good, and I'm glad to see that I'm getting more beans compared to when I first started to grow my bean plant, because I wasn't getting as many. So it just keeps getting bigger, multiplying, and I'm gonna just boil these, steam them, and maybe put some olive oil. And yeah, I can't wait to have this chickpea salad. Sometimes I do eat goat's cheese because I am flexitarian, so I might sometimes add goat's cheese if I have any, like feta, because I like feta cheese, and I also like the soft goat's cheese like on bread and toast. But I'm just doing this without cheese today, and it still tastes nice with all the herbs and capers and all that. These are capers here. And the roasted peppers and honey and all that. Apple cider vinegar, so yeah. And I made a garlic, sage, and rosemary bread with some black pepper, sea salt on top, sea salt inside, and some flaxseed. This is the sage here. There's sage in the dough as well. Lots and lots of garlic and some sugar, and also olive oil and honey glaze on top. No egg wash, just olive oil and honey glaze. Yep, I'm gonna put it in the oven. It's done. It's ready. I'm gonna have this with some goat's cheese. Ooh, it's soft on the inside. It's like nice to pull apart, like as a pull apart bread, and you can dip it in a cheese sauce or just put some olive oil or cheese on this, some olive oil and balsamic vinegar, or goat's cheese, cheddar cheese, whatever cheese you have at home. I'm just gonna break off another piece. Ooh, it smells amazing. The garlic is so strong, wow. The garlic smells very strong, as well as the herbs. So this is tomato and basil bread. I had found a recipe online to make like a twist, tomato and basil twist bread, and it smells amazing. Also, this has lots of garlic in it. I turned it into garlic bread, so you can see the pieces of garlic and some onion powder. So yeah, onion, basil, roasted tomatoes. You can use sun-dried or oven-roasted tomatoes with garlic, a little balsamic vinegar, olive oil, sea salt, and I put some black pepper and chili flakes in this. So can't wait to eat it. I just took a chunk off. It's good as a pull-apart bread, very soft and delicate. It's packed with garlic and tomatoes, so I don't recommend you eating this on a first date. But if you are home alone, you can definitely eat a lot of this. As much garlic as you want. You can eat as much garlic as you want to your heart's content. I don't recommend eating this on a first date. So I'm just gonna put some goat cheese. You can see the garlic in there, the red pepper flakes, and the tomato and basil. And it tastes amazing, kind of like Italian. I did put olive oil in this, so just definitely tastes Italian. Slightly spicy. Soft on the inside, crispy on the outside. If you add lots of garlic and tomato and basil, and you don't skimp on it, or sun-dried tomato as well, you can see that you're gonna have it all throughout the bread, which is great. And the bread is gonna taste like something. It's gonna be just as good as pizza. Hold on one second. You see that? All throughout, folded into the, because I did fold it into the loaf when it was raw. See that? Lots of flavor. It's all throughout the loaf, which makes the bread less boring.